warm up and drift around. It's a cat and mouse game, I guess you could say, chasing the signals around the band. Temperatures are warming up just a little bit. We're at 22 degrees right now, and it looks like it's going to be a really nice day. I know in the past I would be out ice fishing this time of year, or I would actually be out in the river, maybe on the boat. Done that both around this time if the ice is hard, if the water's got ice and it's hard water, or if there is no ice. But we just haven't had the motivation to get out and do a lot of fishing this season. Didn't really do much this summer either, but we've been really busy. The good thing about hobbies like hunting and fishing, it's like ham radio. As long as you don't sell all the gear, life can get in the way, and then you're able to step back and pick the pieces right back up and some of the winter activities. I know we usually do Tip-Up Town, but it's been a few years since we've done that as well, and it's a lot of fun up there at Houghton Lake to get out and ride the snowmobiles and take the kiddies over there to the carnival that they have, and if they've got the monster trucks out and whatnot, and then we'll do a little bit of fishing there as well. Got a couple words that the Utica swap and the Hazel Park swap were both canceled. That's a very unfortunate situation. I hope eventually they'll be able to come together maybe and do like a big group, Metro Detroit group swap. If they're not able to each get their own individual one going, then maybe they'll figure something out to still keep the Detroit area swaps in the circle. Because I got a feeling if they let them fade away, it's going to be extremely hard to get things started back up with the way the generations are getting out of the hobby. Let's see. Yeah, we're on the KWS-1. So the transmitter is a Collins KWS-1. It's doing about 600 watts PEP right now. It's got a pair of 4 CX250s, I believe. Yeah, it's got a pair of 4 CX250s inside. About 2,000 volts, and then the receiver is the 75A4, and the audio is just an unamplified D104. So they called this the Gold Dust Twins back in the day, and yeah, it's roughly about 70-year-old station or whatnot. We just picked it up yesterday, took a ride out to Kalamazoo, met a gentleman from the west side. He came from the west side of Chicago. We kind of met in a little halfway point, and I was able to load this up in the truck and bring it home, and then the wife helped me unload it from the truck and rolled it here in the shack, and we were up till about 11, 12 o'clock last night, kind of playing around with it, getting everything going, and this is the first time we've actually had it on the air. We were just running it into a dummy load before, so I'm happy that I've got some good reports, and it seems to be doing what it's doing. They are rather pricey. There wasn't a whole bunch of them in production, and if they were, it's hard to stick around in good operating conditions. So we spent a little bit more than the $500 that the eBay price had for it. But you know what? You only live once. Not too many things cross your path, and if you want to experience some of the experience in life, sometimes you got to pay to play. So that's what we did. Thanks, Tom, for running the net. You do a fine job as always, and like I said, hopefully I'm a little bit closer to frequency this time, but if not, I apologize. There's not much else I can do at the moment until I get a frequency counter here for this station. So zero beating to the best of my ability, and then I'm sure it drifts a little as we get going. So back over to you, N8ZI and the Michigan Thumbnet. Here is N8ZBA Dan in Greenwood on the KWS-1 station saying good morning.
Well, Dan, it's a whole lot closer to being at frequency. In fact, it's off ever so slightly that, I don't even know if it's worth taking the time to get it straight, but the biggest thing I learned in life is what good is a pile of money if you can't spend it and enjoy it? You can't take it with you. You know, if there is an afterlife, money isn't any good over there. So, you know, what good does it do to have a great big pile of money? Spend it, enjoy it, and you know what? You can, if you had to spend more to get something like that, you got bragging rights. All them other guys wanted it, but you're the one that took it home. We'll catch you next time, Dan. John, KE8OGT, go ahead and stand by Gary.
KE8OGT. Yeah, you mentioned the UP net. I've checked into that a few times. The only problem with that one is it's a good net. The time it starts is a bad time for me. I'm usually, by that time of the day, I'm usually wrapped up doing something else. Usually when I'm in the shack here, it's in the morning or in the evening. Mornings, I'm studying for my extra exam right now, so I usually get up and pour some coffee and do some reading and studying and listen to the radio. But yeah, the UP net's a good one, and I do check into that if I'm around the radio room that time of day. But yeah, it's not fogging this morning. It's 29. We got a pretty stiff breeze out of the south. Tomorrow's supposed to be some rain snow mix. Then off the wet and snow and rainy, snowy mix this winter. It's just an icy mess out there. And but we're getting closer to spring every day is the way I look at it. Days are getting longer little by little, and won't be long, and breakup will be here hopefully. Just got to get through February and the rest of this month. But yeah, I'll definitely be checking in here more often. Appreciate doing that, and glad I stumbled across it this morning.
Okay, John, you're doing great. You held a solid S9 down here, so fine business signal, and come back next week on that. Let's see here, who's next week? I think Jim runs it next week. And so Jim will be net control next week and that. Take it easy, John. We'll catch you next time. Gary, KG8LB, go ahead and stand by, Sean. Okay, I guess Gary jumped out. Sean, N8SOB, go ahead and stand by Jim. I guess Sean jumped out. Or my radio blew up, one or the other. KE8BHP, go ahead, Jim.
Tom, thanks a lot. N8ZI's KE8BHP. Yeah, real quick about the tip-up count. It's not quite the draw like it used to be. There's not a lot of people that come up here for that anymore. In fact, they cut it down. It used to be 2 weekends in the end of January, and they cut it down to Saturday and Sunday the first weekend, and just a Saturday on the last weekend, because they just didn't have enough people coming in, and just wasn't, I guess it wasn't really making a lot of money. So yeah, it's not quite the big draw like it used to be years and years ago, that's for sure. And I haven't seen those monster trucks around here for quite a while. So usually now it's just a bunch of, a lot of people, you know, vendors, and they got a couple of little kiddie rides and stuff for that, and for the kids. And I think they still do that polar bear dip, you know, jumping in the lake. Cut a big hole in the ice, but I don't know if they'll have that this year or not. So the ice is too thin, I suppose. But anyway, yeah, and John there at KE8OGT, there's also, I don't know if there's noticed there's a net right after this one on 39, I think it's 3935. It's out of Traverse City. The guy in Traverse City runs it, Ken. And it's a smash net, Sunday morning amateur social hour. That's on 3935. Starts at 9 o'clock. So anyway, Tom, have a great day, everybody. Catch you next weekend. And everybody be safe, stay warm, and stay dry. KE8BHP 73 all.
Okay, Jim, thanks for the info and that on the tip up down and the other net. And there was somebody that said, I'm here. Who was that? Go ahead, your turn. Hey, Sean? Yeah, I know what Dan was talking about. And it's kind of funny because Utica, Hazel Park, and Lance Cruz, all three of those guys had their swap at the UAW hall over there in Madison Heights. At that big, that was a pretty good-sized room in that. So there shouldn't have really been that much of a hassle to get, all three of them together at some location in that area. But I don't know. I think it's sometimes it's more the person running the swap doesn't want to go do the footwork and get something going and that. Because you look at the GM Club. They run a trunk swap just about every month throughout all of these spring, summer, and fall. So if GM can have one every month, these other guys ought to be able to have one at least once a year, you would think. But, hey, that's just me. So, let's see. We're at the bottom of the list. Anybody else want to jump on board? Any comments or questions? Okay, everybody have a great day. Don't work too hard and enjoy life. This is N8SOB, and this was the Michigan Subnet.
Length to left and slightly below. And we're looking after my son's dog this weekend. They're away. And the joys of having a dog, they have to go out first thing in the morning. And in this case, I have to go with her. I would have preferred to stay indoors for a while anyhow. Well, it was minus 20. But I don't know. It didn't seem that bad. It was still. And you know how they say up north, Ken? It's a dry cold. As if that makes any difference. It's a dry cold. Oh, well. So we got to go out and experience the minus 20 for at least a short period of time. In fact, the dog's down here looking at me now. She has no idea who I'm talking to. W8QKP from VE3KOD.
Yeah, well, hi to the dog. That's funny. Yeah, I'm not surprised you guys have gotten snow. I mean, you get all that stuff right off of Lake Superior, I think. And I guess that they just closed the locks, I think, this weekend. Maybe it was the last boat went through or something. I guess they're getting ready to do some, well, I guess they got repairs that they have to do, but I guess they're getting close to doing something with the new lock up there. I don't know. John, KF8KK, W8QKP.
Okay, good morning, folks. KF8KK here, and it's a dry cold. You throw me down memory lane to the times I used to winter in Arizona, and of course it was a dry heat. And
be fairly nice to have aliens.
Delta X-ray.
Go Dennis, Delta Echo, November, India Sierra.
Okay, Dennis, thank you very much. Anybody else for Beaver?
November 3, America Victoria. No traffic.
November 3, America Victoria. Okay, I've got you. Anybody else for Beaver County? Moving on to Butler County. AA3YW.
Good morning, this is AA3YW. No traffic and your signal is very weak. Try hitting your compressor.
Okay, Dave, thank you very much. I'll see what I can do here.
K3DYT, no traffic and can't hear the signal.
Did I just hear K3DYT?
Affirmative.
Okay, we got you in there. Thank you. KB3TBT.
Good morning, Kilo Bravo 3, Tango Bravo Tango. Would like to report figures 1-0 for our nets this week and request permission to secure.
Okay, Bill, I copy 10 for your 2-meter, and you have permission to secure at your leisure. KB3YWU.
Good morning, this is KB3YWU, no traffic.
Good morning, Marianne. N3MSE.
Use the silent key.
Okay, thank you for the report. Like I said, I'm operating on an old list here. Thank you. WB3DFC. WB3GNT. Anybody else for Butler?
Whiskey Alpha 3, Golf, Delta, Sierra, Dan, QRU. Good morning to the net, and the compression did help.
Okay, Dan. Thank you for the report. Anybody else for Butler County?
Good morning, November 3, Whiskey Hotel, no traffic.
Good morning. Believe that's Joe. Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else for Butler County? Moving on to Cambria County. ND3L.
ND3L, no traffic. Please give us number 9, figures 9, for our Sunday night net.
Alrighty, we have your number 9 for your Sunday night net. Thank you for the report. Anybody else for Cambria County? This is Whiskey 3, Whiskey Bravo Mike, and we're going to Cameron County. Is there anybody for Cameron County? Moving on to Clarion County, AA3TH.
Good morning, AA3TH, no traffic.
Good morning, George. Joe? Good morning. AA3YE.
Good morning, Will. Here is AA3YE.
Good morning to the other Joe down there. Thank you. K3BEV. K3MIY.
Good morning, Bill. K3MIY, no traffic.
Good morning, Ron. Nice to hear you again there. KB3GTC.
I didn't hear my name called. This is KB3GTC and Will Static here.
Okay, Morgan. I just barely hear you, but I did hear you. Thank you very much for your check-in. Anybody else for Clarion County? Moving on to Clearfield County. K3SKA. N3S. W3CUV. WB3EQW. Anybody else for Clearfield? Moving to Crawford County. K3TLP. N3CUP.
Good morning, N3CUP, no traffic.
Good morning, John. Thank you, and your signal's really good. W3KGT. WO3H.
Good morning, Bill. WO3H, no traffic.
Good morning, Gary. WW3S.
Good morning. This is WW3S. Please give us figures 26. That's 26 on 2 meters. Over.
Okay, Jamie, I copy 26 for 2 meters. Thank you for your report. Anybody else for Crawford County?
Good morning, Kilo Charlie 3, Romeo, Quebec Hotel. No traffic.
Kilo Charlie 3, Romeo, Quebec Hotel. I've got you. Thank you for your report. Anybody else for Crawford? K3ND. N3NWL.
Good morning, this is N3NWL. Please give us 13 check-ins, figures 1-3 on our Sunday evening net, N3NWL.
Okay, Lee, I got 13 on your Sunday report. Thank you very much. WW30.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Bill, and WW30, no traffic.
Good morning. Anybody else for Elk? Moving on to Erie County. KB3DXL. KB3NRA. KC3NRI. N3APP.
Good morning, N3APP, no traffic.
Good morning, Lee. Thank you, and your good signal in here. N3UDQ. NT3W. W3GHO.
This is W3GHO. Good morning. I'd like to report 19 on 2 meters. Over.
Okay, Jerry. I have 19 on 2 meters. Thank you for your report. WA3DS. WA3UTN. Anyone else for Erie County? This is Whiskey 3, Whiskey Bravo Mike. Moving on to Fayette County. K3FQI.
This is K3FQI. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. KB3YRU.
Net control, this is Kilo Bravo 3, Yankee Romeo uniform. Good morning, Will. No traffic.
Good morning, Eddie. Good signal in here. N3QAS.
Good morning from N3QAS. I have 34 on the local 2 meter public service.
Okay, Dave. by copy 3-4 for your public service net. Thank you for report. WA30DQ. Anybody else for Fayette County? Is there anybody in Forest County? Nothing heard. We're going to Greene County. AA3JK. AA3TNW. N3LIF. WB3BVZ. Anybody for Greene County? Moving along to Indiana County, AB3XA. K3LAB. K3ZYK. KB3JOD. Was JOD in there? How about KC3FZU? KM3M. N3CJR. WB3DUD. Anybody for Indiana County? Moving on to Jefferson County. W3BC. Anybody for Jefferson County? Moving on to Lawrence County. K3BEG.
K3BEG, good morning, Will. No traffic.
Good morning, Bruce. Thank you for your report, and you're booming right in here. That's a good signal. K3VLR.
Good morning, this is K3VLR, no traffic.
Good morning, Greg. K7JN.
Good morning, K7JN, no traffic.
Good morning, Jim. KJ3X. N3ETV.
Good morning, N3ETV.
Good morning, Chuck. Anybody else for Lawrence County?
N3ZJM, November 3, Zulu, Joliet, Mike, Jim, nothing to the net.
Okay, Jim, I have you down here. Thank you. Anybody else for Lawrence County? Moving on to McKean County. KA3CQM. N3ELI. N3HCL. Anyone from McKean County? Move along to Mercer County. K3ET.
Good morning, this is K3ET, no traffic.
Good morning, Steve. Thank you, and good signal. K3LR. N3CM.
This is November 3, Charlie Mike. Please give us a net report of 6.
Okay, Dave, I have net report of 6. Thank you for your report. KB3LY.
November 3, Lima Yankee, no traffic.
Good morning, Linda. SR3C. How about W3JL? Anybody else for Mercer County? This is Whiskey 3, Whiskey Bravo Mike, moving on to Somerset County. KB3MC. K3VL. KB3GUN. KB3OUX. KB3OUX, I just heard a T, that was it. Okay, KB3VTX. N3BLS. N3VFG. NJ3T. Anybody for Somerset? Nothing heard. Moving on to Venango County. KC3ADA. W2CU. KB3H.
Good evening, Will. Good morning, Will. KB3H, no traffic.
Good morning, John. Alrighty, nope, that's an easy mistake, that's for sure. N3ILR.
Higher. The other one's like 22, but they said, you know, if it was 2 times the high end or 3 times the high end, then there's really cause for concern. Although it's high, it's not double or triple, so, you know, I'm hoping that, you know, and I was told before I got a fatty liver, so who knows. Change my diet.
Definitely needs some going through and recapping and re-resisting and so forth. My R390A is also in need of repair. It gave up the ghost some time ago, and I haven't gotten it off the shelf and repaired it. I think I probably need to enlist some assistance, at least with the with the mechanics of getting these boat anchors out where I can work on them. Becomes a challenge when you get older, that's for sure. Boy, those things are heavy. Anyway, weather here in Fort Wayne, boy, it looks nice right now. The sun is shining, blue skies. It's pretty chilly out there. Temperature, let's see, about 25 degrees. And it was pretty nippy out there this morning when I took the dog out. So back to you, John. Thanks for doing the net, and I believe we met at Dayton or Xenia, if I'm not mistaken. Back to you, AC8XL or FL. I'm sorry, AC8FL and the net W9GT.
At W9GT, AC8FL return in Yeah, that does ring bells, Jack. I think we did run into each other, but boy, that was a busy one down to Xenia, but sure enjoyed that last year. Hope I can make it down there again this year as well. And the Federal, I think the 167B is sounding real fine in here. And interesting on, so much of this old stuff with the resistors that go high in value, and I sure run into a lot of that. And as you mentioned, a lot of times it's the screen resistors. I think they were a little bit underrated, perhaps originally, and suffer more from sustained heat, little higher dissipation than some of the others. It seems like those and the occasional cathode resistor can really, high cathode resistor really knock things, the gain down. So, and I also think, based on some of the equipment that I've seen, it must be a lot, and where it's been stored, I think it's something in a very, very dry storage, perhaps less suffers less than something that's set around in a damp basement for many years. So with that, let me loop back and see if Frank or Jim are in there that we missed earlier. N8SOB, are you back around the transmitter? Yeah, nothing heard. How about Jim, WB9LZA? Go ahead and make one if you're there. This is AC8FL. No, I think Jim had to exit also, and then we didn't catch Larry before. N8BNE, Larry, are you there? I think Larry had to run also. Well, I think we're to the bottom of the list. I don't believe I've missed anyone else here. Anyone else wishing to join the DX60net, please call now. This is AC8FL.
TOT.
And November 8 Zulu Bravo Alpha N8ZBA.
W9 Alpha Delta.
Whiskey Delta 8 or what? Delta Bravo.
Okay, I got Dan back in there, ZBA, Whiskey 9 Alpha Delta, Steve, WD8 KDB, and then there was a TOT ending that I didn't get the whole call sign, and I think maybe another one buried there. Please try it again. This is AC8FL.
WD8 DWR.
Okay, you got WD8DWR, and there was still another one buried in there. I think it was possibly the TOT suffix. Try it again, please.
Whiskey Bravo 8 Texas, Ontario, Texas.
Okay, you got Whiskey Bravo 8 Texas, Ontario, Texas in there. Go ahead and, well, actually, let me get Dan back in there that we missed earlier, and then WB8TOT will be on deck. So go ahead and make one, Dan. N8ZBA, good to hear you back in here, booming in as always this morning. This is AC8FL.
Okay, well, good morning to you, John, AC8FL, and all my friends on the DX60net. Here is N8ZBA Dan in Greenwood, top end of St. Clair County, where we've got about 22 degrees right now. Partly cloudy, but I do see the sun shining. There's no snow on the ground, so not a bad day. Not a bad day at all. Just enjoying playing some radio. We were in here earlier today. Got in on the early pre-net, and then we shot across the band to the Michigan Thumbnet, and we checked in with a Collins KWS1 that we just moved into the shack yesterday. So that was pretty neat. That was the first time we had that Gold Dust twin on the air. We had it paired up with the 75A4, so we were able to do a little bit of vintage sideband earlier, and that was nice. I want to say hello to my friend Orville. Very, very nice to hear you on the band. Happy New Year. I hope you and the family are doing well. It's been a few years, and you've got a nice, strong signal into Greenwood this morning. So I'll get it back over to you, John. Thank you so much for running the net. I'm extremely sorry to hear about Bruce. Oh, I'll mention that real quick. N8KGR, he always had a fine signal, a very distinct operating voice, and and he's going to be missed, greatly missed. So back over to you, AC8FL, and everyone on the DX60 net. Here is N8SOB Dan in Greenwood saying good morning.
Well, good morning, Dan. A quick break. Are you on the homebrew there? I didn't hear the transmitter. Back to you.
I apologize. Yeah, I'm on the Borgie built, the 4-1000 plate modulated by the 833s, using the flex as the exciter and the receiver, and we're just got the inverted V. Waiting on I'll mention this about to Orville, waiting on a new exciter. We changed up the exciter for the Blaine King, and we're going to have that probably within the next month or so, and we'll be able to have that on the air also. So just moving things around in the shack. Got the new Collins station, and things are happening around here. So stay tuned. Thanks, John, for getting us back in here. AC8FL N8ZBA.
Very good, Dan. N8ZBA, AC8FL. Well, you're just booming in here on the Borgie rig, sounding great, and sure sounds like you're having fun with some new additions to the equipment lineup there. So good for you. All right. Well, with that, then I'll get it over to WB8TOT. I think it's Orville then, and Victor DWR will be on deck. Go ahead and take it, WB8TOT. This is AC8FL and the DX60 net.
AC8FL and the DX60 net, WB8TOT. Well, good morning, John, and Happy New Year to you, and good morning, Dan. It's great to hear you on, and all the info about Blaine King there. It's great to hear that it's still alive. Good things there. And this is Orville, QTH, Michigan. We want to say hello to all the listeners and participators on the net. And the rig we're running this morning, the Valiant 2, it's Drake R4B receiver. We don't have any TV type, no radios with TV sets in them here at all. We like the older radios. In fact, I had a chance to pick up a 7300 for $300 at an estate sale a couple of months ago, and said no, thank you. So we still like our radios to have dials, and that's about it. So and it's good to hear about the mark swap next weekend, I guess. It's at Southfield Civic Center. That's a pretty big room there, and it'll be a great place for to have that event. And somebody needs to tell Kokobo Bob that, he sounds like he's falling asleep there, but tell him that Ranger's got a VFO in it. Quit fooling around with that other stuff and use that VFO. So that's pretty much about it. John, we met about a couple of years ago at the Packard Proving Grounds, just about the time they told everybody it was fine, the very first time they told everybody it was fine to take the masks off. And we still had a mask on, so you probably wouldn't recognize us. But we did have a 20A there on the table that was for sale at the time, and actually I finally found a 458 VFO for it. So we might get that together and working here. So that's about it. I don't know if you remember us, John, but we do remember you, and you stopped over and talked to us about the Central Electronics stuff. I was there with my XYL, and we remember you. We're like I said, we're about 12 miles southeast of Bishop Airport, right on the edge of the controlled airspace of Bishop Airport. So we get some big old jets coming over and giving us a buzz once in a while. So that's about it, John. We certainly appreciate you doing the net. You sound great on there, and you're doing a great job, so thank you so much. So with that, we'll be on out of here. AC8FL near Fenton, WB8TOT near Goodrich, Michigan, 73. Have a good day. Thanks again, John.
WB8DOT, AC8FL, well, great, Orville, and good copy there. The Valiant 2 is sounding real good here. No problem at all. And yeah, that rang bells, the meeting out at the Packard Proving Grounds, and then especially when you mentioned that on the 20A, because you know that was one that I kicked myself there after that. Kind of wishing I could have struck a deal on that, because it had my eye out for one of those. Ended up finding one, a 20A complete with the 458 VFO at a swap later last year, and then did get that on the air. So got the working 20A with the 458 VFO that actually is a darn nice stable VFO for those things. And then more recently, in speaking of the Central Electronics, I came across a 10A exciter, and that's kind of on my the short-term list here. Hopefully soon to get to that and take a better look at. I was fortunate that I got 80-meter coils for that one, so hope to put it on for at least to play a bit with here in the next year, the 10A. So with that, thanks again for joining the net this morning, and with that, we'll send it over to Victor, WD8DWR, to take it, and then Dave, W9AD, will be on deck. So go ahead and take it away, Victor. This is AC8FL and the DX60 net.
Contact.
I think there was a contact there. Go ahead.
Yeah, quick break. Is Orville still in there?
No, he made a transmission and signed off, so it's over to Victor next, WD8DWR, to take it, and then Dave, W9AD, is on deck, and then Steve, KDB, I think will be bringing up the end of the list here. This is AC8FL.
Okay, real fine, John. AC8FL. Then the DX60 net, WD8DWR returning. Well, good morning to everybody. Good to hear some beautiful AM signals. And we're seeing a little bit of sunshine in this neck of the woods, and that's always enjoyable to have that in the morning. Anyway, good to hear you as well as everybody else, and looking forward to the swap next Saturday. Hopefully the weather will be good and we'll be able to get down there. So I would imagine they might have themselves a pretty good turnout. So there ought to be a lot of fun to see some of the guys in living color. And we thought we'd add one more to the grand total, John. So thanks for doing the net. Thanks for picking us up. AC8FL, 76 from WD8DWR.
WD8DWR, AC8FL return. Well, fine copy, Victor. You're sounding good. What did you mention? I missed it if you did. What transmitter you're on this morning? Go ahead.
Well, I'm kind of cheating this morning. Kenwood 440 through an amplifier, over.
Okay, we'll put you on the solid state list. You're allowed in this one, in this net, Victor, but sounding good here. And there was another breaker in there that I think had a comment for Orville. Why don't you go ahead and catch Orville if he's still online here? AC8FL will go into the break.
Okay, I was hoping to ask Orville about the Valiant 2. He's probably gone. But there was I sent a Valiant 2 up that way that looked up near Orville and New Orville. I was wondering if it was the same one. KG8LB.
Yeah, Orville, did you get that? Gary made a comment on the Valiant 2. Come back if you're there. I think we lost him, Gary, but thanks. So, all right, well, continuing down, I'll send it out to Dave, W9AD, and then it'll be Steve, KDB, on deck after that. This is AC8FL.
All righty, John. Well, you're doing a good job. And Mr. Mike, to go to Dave here. I'm down in Morelia, Mexico, and boy, it's hard. That's kind of lousy to hear about Bruce. Talked to him a few times. He's a real nice guy, and sorry to hear about him checking out there. And speaking of Mr. Mike, whenever we're down in Morelia here, there's a bunch of stores called Porcelainite, and Mr. Mike used to always crack me up when he had to go to the porcelain room, he was always kind of a crack up, and I'd give him a little razz about it. But whenever I drive around and I see a porcelainite store, I think of Mike. I like that guy, miss that guy. But you're doing a fine job, no doubt about it. The rig down here is a Dell. I mean, an XT V230 computer with a $49 condenser mic and a $49 preamp, and the rig at home is an N8SOB TLE and the Prometheus DX2400 solid-state amplifier doing, about 1,400 watts of peak, 300 some watts of carrier. So that's the situation there. Like I said, great job there. John's doing fine business. AC8FL, DX60 W9AT, south of the border.
Well, you're doing a fine job remote there, Dave, south of the border. Probably enjoying some finer temperatures than we have here, although we sure can't complain with the light winter weather that we've had here so far this month. So very good on that. All right, well, with that, we'll get it up to Steve, WD8 KDB to take it. This is AC8FL, Fenton, Michigan.
Yeah, AC8FL and the DX60net, N8ECR Memorial DX60net. Here is Whiskey Delta 8, Kilowatt Delta Bravo, Steve up here, Roger City. Just wanted to jump in and say good morning to all the AMers out there. Everybody's sounding great here this morning. Been good signals here, heard just about everybody. And 27 degrees up here, no sun. It's all cloudy out there. And no new snow either, though, so we're good on that aspect there. Running my usual Kenwood here, John. No amp today. That's tuned up on a different band here, and I didn't feel like retuning here, so I'm running barefoot here, 25 watt carrier here. And other than that, not much else here. Worked out my shop. Finally got my parts to get that system back up and running, so we can go back to work tomorrow. Well, I might even do a little bit today, but get back to work tomorrow there. Hi. With that, John, thanks for doing a super job there, and again, condolences to Bruce's family there. Sorry to hear about his passing there. Don't say I ever really talked to him that much, but I used to listen to him a lot. Well, everybody did. He was on the AM here quite a bit, so surely going to be missed. With that, John, thanks again. AC8FL, WD8KDB. Good morning, all.
WD8 KDB, AC8FL return, and well, you're staying just above the noise there with the 25 watts out of the Kenwood, Steve. So it's making the trip. So thanks for joining us this morning. So I think that brings me to the end of the list here. I'll take one more standby for anyone wishing to join or recheck. This is AC8FL and the DX60net.
Recheck WD8 TOT.
Yeah, TOT. Go ahead, Orville.
Okay, John. Tell Gary if you see Gary or you hear him on or talk to him at all. This Valiant 2 I've had since 2008, so I'm sure it's probably not the same one. I got it from W8VO Clem, I think his name is, K8HWW, back in the early 60s. That was the call back in the early 60s. I'm not sure if it goes by K8HWW still or W8VO, but Clem was his name. And yeah, I got it in 2008. So that's about it, John. I had turned the transmitter off, so I had to turn it back on here and warm it back up. So that's about it. Thanks so much. Like I said, I appreciate you doing the net. You do a great job at it. AC8FL WB8TOT.
WB8TOT AC8FL returning. Well, thanks for firing back up, Orville, and we got that then. I suspect Gary's still listening out there, and that sounds like a different Valiant 2 then, and good on the history there. So thanks again, and I'll take one more standby. Anybody else wishing to join or recheck in the DX60net? This is AC8FL.
Whiskey Alpha 8, Tango Whiskey Mike. Whiskey Alpha 8 Tango Whiskey Mike.
Okay, got a Whiskey Alpha 8 Tango Whiskey Mike, I believe. Go ahead, and then after that, we've got a K8OF. So WA8 TWM, I believe. Go ahead and take it. This is AC8FL, Fenton, Michigan.
Good morning. This is Don, Delta Oscar November. I'm in Paynesville, Ohio, about 30 miles east of Cleveland. Haven't checked in a while. Running an HT37, driving the SB220 amplifier, receiving on the SX111, and the mic's a D104. Where it's cold over here, we're about 15 degrees this morning and sunny off Lake Erie. So back over to you. AC8FL, WA8TWM.
Very good, Don. WA8TWM, AC8FL returning. Well, good copy here, and we got you by a few degrees. It was 21 here in Fenton when I checked, but the good news is we're supposed to go up to, I think, 37 was the forecast today, so not too bad for January. So, all right, and the HD37 is sounding good. With that, I'll send it over to, I think it was Kilo 8 OF. Go ahead and take it away. This is AC8FL and DX60net.
Yeah, good morning. You're doing a great job of that. This is Doug down in Petersburg, Michigan. Just want to say good morning to everybody. And let you know that TMRA in Toledo is going to have their Hamfest. It's scheduled for Sunday, March the 19th. I just got the message in the mail yesterday, so we got the Hamfest that's been gone for a couple of years now. Is going to be back at the college in Maumee. So with that, that's about all I have to say. It's a beautiful day out today, and everybody sounds great. So different radio today, just running a 775 DSP with 25 watts. So hope everybody heard me, and have a good day, everybody. K8OF in suburbs of Petersburg, Michigan.
Very good, K8OF. Confirm again, you were kind of up and down. Is that Bill there back to you?
Say that again, please.
Yeah, I wasn't positive on your name. Is the name Bill there? K8OF, back to you, AC8FL.
Yeah, that's my first name is Bill. It's William, but I go by Doug. Doug Ocean Uniform Golf.
Okay, got it, Doug. And thanks for checking in then. And yeah, I think the band's starting to go out a little bit there. When you were up, it was good. When you were down, you're right at my noise level there. So, all right, I think that brings us to the end there. I'll take one more standby. Anybody else wishing to join the DX60net this morning, please call now. This is AC8FL. Okay, nothing heard. I think that's a wrap for us. So looking forward to Steve TOW getting back into take this back over. But glad to help out this morning, and I'm sure that Steve's having a good time with his wife in Chicago. And with that, we'll say 73s to all, and AC8FL will be clear of the frequency, closing the DX60net down for January 15th here. AC8FL clear of the frequency and returning to regular amateur use.
bus bars, 110 each side, and I'm tied in at the bottom with some number 8 going into a disconnect with a couple 45 amp fuses, and that goes out to the garage. It's fine. That works great. Never even blown a fuse either. ADC on the 51.
KC8 TJB.
Whiskey 8 Sugar Delta Charlie.
Well,
Dave, the microphones you're running, are they condenser or dynamic?
Thinking about running power out to the barn. I don't need a high amp service out there, just enough to run lights and maybe a couple small things. But my box in the house is 100 amp. I thought about switching it to a 200 amp and then put this 100 amp out in the barn. That might be the way to do it. But the wires coming off the transformer in, they should be able to handle the 200 amps, I'm sure. They usually run those overkill, don't they?
I missed that.
Yeah, well, I was babbling about changing the boxes around, but from the pole into the house, them wires should be good enough to put a 200 amp box in here, or a breaker box, yeah. And I was going to take this 100 amp one and stick it in the barn.
Well, not necessarily. Like this neighborhood here, they set it up for, basically 60 amps, 60, 65 amps a house. Hopefully that's 100 amp wire. But like Craig next door, he's got a 200 amp box, and that wire ain't, it ain't really heavy enough to carry 200 amps. But, they never changed the wire. The guy that lived there previously had a 200 amp service put in there, but all they did was hook it up. They never changed any wire going to the pole. And, and then he's got that water heater and the lights blink and stuff, so the wire ain't heavy enough. Nothing's heavy enough around here.
I got a really big transformer here. It feeds 3 different houses, and it's in my backyard. And originally, that pole sat there and everything, because this used to be a beef cattle farm, and they used that one to run. So I'm wondering if the service entrance isn't real heavy. I have to look in there. I don't know, but it's a huge transformer, so I'm sure the wiring coming into the house is probably adequate.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, check it out. And Steve, these are cardioid dynamic.
I've been educating myself about microphones lately before I make a purchase.
Well, I run the ATR-30, which are discontinued, and of course there's no amplification or anything like that. They come with the XLR, I guess it is, connector. You wire it up to your radio, and anyway, I got a little bit of processing and a little bit of equalization going on this radio. But I've got, you've seen it, there's 2 mounted here. One goes to the 7100, or I can cable it up to the 7300, which I'm not going to do because I've sold it. But anyway, I've got all the stuff to do that. But they seem to provide pretty good clean audio. I can't seem to splatter anything like that. I probably could if I wanted to, but anyway, they're still available. They're out there, but you gotta find a used one. Basically, occasionally a new one will come up. But they make others that look up the specs on the Audio Technica ATR-30, and you look up the specs and then go look and see what's available that's got close specs to that.
Your neighbor's got some dynamic mics he's going to dig out and loan me. I got a cord ordered, an XLR cable ordered, so I'm going to try a couple different mics that he's got and see how they sound.
Oh, okay. There you go. I probably got some cables around here. In fact, I know I got one stuck in a drawer here somewhere. It's got the plug on it for the mic. They have to put a plug on it, of course, for the rig, but I think I got one here. I'll have to look.
Yeah, I need XLR to 1/8 inch is what I need. I got one ordered. It was like $7.
Oh, okay. Well, I usually wire my own. I just cut their plug off and put an 8-pin on it. But I've got one that's got the XLR connection still on it. If you need one.
Yeah, I'll try a few of his. He's got some Sures and some Sennheisers, and he says they're good mics. We'll see how they work with a radio.
Yeah, there you go. And, yep, doing it that way, you can't, you don't have any fancy, preamps or anything like that, so you can't get in there and just ruin everything. Nothing worse than bad audio.
Yeah, I agree.
These ATR 30s, I see there's a ton of them on Facebook right now. 39, 29, 35, 30, 28, 54, 50, 30. Wow, here's one for $19.95. Oh, $10 shipping, but it looks like it's brand new. That says it's an ATR 30, but it doesn't look like mine. Interesting. But, yeah, there's stuff available all over the place. I bought one new and one used. Oh, I see. This one's got a foam cover over top of it. I'll be darned. Something to catch your spit.
Well, you got to have a spit filter, or a pop filter anyway.
Yeah, okay. I don't, but okay.
I know on the older ICOMs, they were really finicky on microphones, and if you didn't have a specific ICOM cartridge in your microphone, they didn't sound worth a darn.
Well, it depends on the rig and stuff like that. The yearly, like the 746s and M and 756 and 7600, they had a really good hand mic. They really, really did. It was tailored to suit the radio, and they were really nice. But you can put a mic on there and get them to sound really good. Now the 7200 was a problem child. You couldn't get enough audio through them, and everybody says, "Well, you got to send your mic to this guy. He'll do the microphone mod on it for $35." And boy, that thing will really work good and sound good. But it wasn't doing anything but screwing with the mic because all the problem was on the input of the audio in and the radio.
Yeah, I had a 746 and a 706, and yeah, the only thing I ever ran was either the hand mic or I had an SM6 desk mic on my 746, and it sounded really good.
I never could afford them fancy desk mics, so
it was a package deal.
There you go. NADC close to the 60.
KCTJB.
Whiskey 8, Sugar Delta Charlie.
So things to think about, but, Steve, I can understand where you're going there. You want to have just as many mics as Denny, if not, maybe two more.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to avoid.
Yeah, like I say, I got these two Audio Technica ATR 30s here, and then I got the hand mics for everything. That's all I got.
Well, I've got my $9 plastic mic here.
Well, that thing's got good audio.
Yeah, for the money, that's not too bad.
But if you want to keep up with the big boys...
Hey, that's what it's all about.
These guys think they can run a D104 on everything. Well, no, you really can't. I mean, you can change the cartridge in and you can do it. If that's really what you want to do, you've got to have that lollipop sitting in front of you. Not me. And I really like the way, I've been running a foot switch forever. I mean, forever. And, I first used it to key an amp. And, I hit the foot switch and hit the push to talk at the same time because I did have a Shure 444 on the old lefty old 101 EE, but
special is doing the trick on 17 for sure, and good deal on getting hooked up with one of the Wilsons. Yeah, the old ones are way better than the new ones. It's something with the construction of it. I've heard a lot of that talk, and it's typical. They as things progress, the quality and craftsmanship always seems to go down. They find cheaper ways to assemble something and want to charge more for it, and the world of CB, the world of radio in general, for the most part has been affected by that. Although you can get some pretty cost-effective rigs, like the ASUs, they make some really good bang for their bucks these days, and like the ICOM 7300, that's a real good bang for your buck. So if you keep your eye out for the right type of gear. Let's see. I'm just running an inverted V right now, and I don't use a tuner for it at all. I've got it cut for the AM portion of each band. I've got one for 20 meter, one for 40 meter, one for 80, and one for 160. The 160 meter is more of a dipole, though. Both ends are supported, but they do slope down a little bit, so it's not completely an inverted V. But we used to have a big loop antenna in the front yard, but as the years progressed, that began to deteriorate, and eventually we just, instead of repairing it, we just took it down, and hopefully one day we'll get the opportunity to get another one of those up, and then we'll end up utilizing the tuner here in the shack for that. That's the best way to use that antenna. I've learned. We've got a real nice Palstar tuner. Been using that manufacturer for a lot of years. So, well, good, man. It's really nice to run into another local guy on the band and have options of being able to chit chat in different portions of the spectrum. K8ICB from N8ZBA.
N8ZBA, I finally got to your QRZ page. You're a young man. Oh wow, it's good to talk to young people, and I am like, is that your shack of these pictures, all this old stuff? Is that your stuff?
Yeah, I've got a radio hoarding problem.
My God, that is it's like a museum. Wow. So obviously you probably know how to fix up that old stuff to get it working.
No, I know enough to be dangerous, but unfortunately I've got to really pay my way to play in this hobby. Okay, wow. So man, that is amazing. What is that thing that looks like you could walk into it? It looks like a phone booth with some lights in it. That's a broadcast transmitter. It's a Gates BC1G. It was a radio station down in Georgia when it was retired, and then it got converted over to 75 meter. And then back in 2017, roughly 2018, somewhere in that time frame, it moved back to Michigan.
Yeah, that's quite impressive. Everything's really impressive. I could sit there and stare at this stuff for hours. Wow. Yeah, and you got a lovely wife there, and looks like nice little family. Wonderful. I am a two-time divorcee, struck out that way, but I got two wonderful kids from the first marriage, and they're roughly your age, and they're doing well. I'm very happy that they're both doing well. You always want your kids to do okay, and they're One is married, and I got 2 grandbabies, 7 and 6 months, 7 years and 6 months, and they're a joy. They live in Lansing. And my daughter lives near me, right in town here in Imlay City, so I see her quite often. I'm very, very happy she decided to buy my mom's old house that I actually lived in there with my mom for a little bit during a rough period. It's at the north end of town. I'm at the south end of town. We're both in the city proper, and speaking of Imlay City, I've went on a mission to see if I could find any other hams with antennas in the yard or on top of the house, and I've done the QRZ search for my county and looked at all the registered hams, and I am the only one with an antenna farm, and I don't have that big of a lot.
No, man, what kind of antennas do you have?
Well, first I got, with the technician, I bought I want a Diamond X50A. It's like it's their midline one. They have 3 of them, and it's a vertical fiberglass, and it's on where my TV antenna used to be on a tripod on my roof. I have a ranch house, and it's probably 25, 30 feet at the bottom, and I do pretty well with it. I'm at a higher elevation here in Imlay City, so I've talked to people in the Lapeer repeater, and they seem to think I'm doing real well for being in Imlay City. I guess maybe there's places in Imlay City where you could be down in a hole. So that's my VHF UHF. Then I have my main thing is what I'm talking on now, the NFED half wave, and that's started out not exactly ideal as far as how I had it set up, but once I learned to get that Balun 4901 Balun thing up in the air as high as it would go with the rest of the antenna, it really started performing. So that's my main HF. And then my other one is a work in progress. Right now it's not working so well, is a fan dipole, homemade in the backyard. I got finally got one of those MFJ fiberglass masks, the 33-foot one, and I'm just trying to it's just too cold to work out there right now, but I'm just trying to trim or lengthen each segment. I got 80, 40, 20, and then I want to have 6 because I got 10 with my vertical here, so I don't really need 10. So then I have a shortwave listening antenna that's going to get up higher, but right now it's kind of low. It's about 90 some feet, and I have that hooked into my bedroom with a shortwave radio so I can listen to stuff when I'm laying there. My ham shack's in another room, not with the bed, so anyway, yeah, that's it. But I'll tell you what, you walk by, you think you're looking at some storefront in Manila with all the wires everywhere.
No, great. That's what this hobby's all about, getting out and experimenting and trying different things, and you're definitely right on track with that. So it sounds like you've got a really nice setup, and it really sounds good. And okay on not having too many other antenna firms around your QTH. I know every once in a while I'll pass one out here in the country. I know they exist. I don't talk to too many of the hams, but I know that they're out here. And good deal on the grandkids and the daughter living close, and I believe it was a son that lives out in Lansing. Fine business there. Yeah, I'm 38 years old, so hopefully that's right around the same age as your kiddos. But yeah, 38, and then I have a son. I have just one. And he's 13. He'll be 14 this year. So man, the years are just flying by. And the wife and I, we've been high school sweethearts. So we've been together since I was 16 and she was 17. So we've got a pretty good system here at the QTH, and she lets me expand my ham radio hobby throughout the house. I've got a collecting problem, but I play with the radio gear as much as I can, and just really enjoy it all the way around. Over.
Heck yeah.
Hi, buddy.
Hi, guys. N8SOB.
N8SOB, you stumbled upon us.
Man, you guys are sounding good. Yeah. Two of my favorite local operators here modulating with each other. Sounding good. Over to you there, Bob.
Yeah, Sean, I just kind of hooked up this $35 Cobra 29 LTD that I bought on eBay for about $35, and hooked it up to my RM Italy 503 that I wasn't sure if it was broken or not, and it seems to be working good. Dan heard me, and he mentioned he was a ham, and so we switched over to 80 meters.
Yeah, you ran into a good guy, that's for sure. Yeah, Dan and I go way back. We definitely we definitely talk quite a bit. So yeah, pretty good friends. Good guy there, good people. So yeah, that's good stuff. You on the flex, Dan?
Yeah, I'm cheating right now. I shut down the KWS one earlier, and I was going to go play a little bit of 11 meter before I headed off and talked to the wife. So I was shutting all the gear down, had just the ICOM on, and I was messing around saying hello to Triple Nickel, and I heard a signal from Imlay City. And next thing I know, I turned the flex back on real quick and came to 80. Over.
Good deal. Yeah, it seems like we're on a pretty good ground wave right now. Bob's always loud. He transmits better north than I do, especially when we're just running 100 watts. So, yeah, good deal. Yeah, glad you sent me the text there. I was just kind of sitting here. Actually, I was getting ready to go to FT8. So, and I knew most of everything was tuned up here, so I was ready to go. And good deal on the new radio there, Bob. That's good stuff. And hopefully you enjoy that. So what, you were just sitting in your driveway or something like that when you talked to Dan?
Oh, no, this is in my house. Finally, I got something that's loud enough to be heard in my house. Yeah, it's hooked up. Hey, I got a question for you. I was wondering if my power supply that's 25 continuous 30 peak would handle this thing, and I noticed that it gets near the limit, like it's got like this line at 28, and if I turn if there's a variable power on the amp, and it's about halfway up right now. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 6. It's at 4. If I turn up too high, the amperage starts to go down on my peaks. Is that a bad thing?
I wouldn't say necessarily a bad thing. It's definitely getting pushed to its limits. Are you still seeing forward power on your power meter?
Oh yeah, definitely. I do see forward power on the power meter.
I would say it's all right. I would, just pay attention to it. I would say you're pushing it to the limit. I'm sure it's a newer power supply and it's got like a protection or something if it gets overloaded.
Yeah, there is a fault light that has not lit up yet, so.
Oh, if it's got a fault light, then yeah, it's got a pretty good protection in it. Yeah, I wouldn't go any more than what you are. So it sounds like the power supply is holding up. It's just, I don't know what I think. That's why I was just making sure you still had forward power on your your meter there. So yeah, I wouldn't go any more than that.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm thinking of, now that I'm reaching the limit of this thing, I'm thinking of maybe I should upgrade and get something more. I mean, that mobile rig I got, that RCI Ranger thing, it was blowing 60 amp fuses until I got 100 amp fuses. It was not working. So, I mean, I want to get something at least 50 amps.
Yeah, I would go look at an Astron 15 or 50 amper. I know Pyramid has like a 52 amper. Those work decently. But yeah, I would look like, along lines of an Astron or something.
Okay, good deal. Well, thanks for the advice. I'll tell you, now I have two experts. You guys are roughly the same age, and it looks like you grew up in radio. Would you say that's correct, Dan?
I've been a ham since I was 9, and then I kind of faded away from ham radio throughout my teen years, and I dabbled in a lot of CB, and then in my late 20s, my late teens, early 20s, I got back into ham radio again. And then I got Sean into ham radio with me. We met on 11 meter.
Yeah, that's the story there. If it wasn't for Dan, I don't know if I'd be sitting here modulating with you.
Wow, well, good deal, Dan. You did a good thing.
Yeah, we went to a swap, first swap I ever really been to. He picked me up. We went down early, and I hadn't really even looked at a test or anything. Wasn't a ham yet, and I didn't bring any money. Dad said, here, he gave me the $20 to go in there and take it. He goes, if you pass it, don't worry about it. If you fail it, you owe me the money. So I went in there and tested my luck, and I walked out a technician, and I hadn't even looked at a test. So all thanks to Dan there, that's for sure. Then he pushed me to get my general. I was getting all on the 2 meter and the technician stuff, and he told me to stop, get my general.
That was a very important thing. At least get the HF privileges.
Yeah, it is a whole different world. And Sean, how far did you get with the 2 meter? I know we've talked about it before. You're not real thrilled with it, saying that there's not much going on. And I mean, I hear stuff far away that I cannot talk to, but there is activity there.
Yeah, there's activity, but for us to be able to get really into the big 2 meter community, you'd have to have, a good beam, vertical beam pointed at repeaters down the city, 80 to 100 watts, be able to hear them. There is activity up here, but not enough for me to worry about making another station for it, I guess. I got into it enough where a couple simplex frequencies, the repeaters around here, but that was it, and I'm glad that I didn't stop there.
Yeah, that's true, and you are on the fringe of all that stuff. Yeah, I hear it a little more over this way. I mean, I can pick up Flint, I can pick up Port Huron, and occasionally I can get south. I think there's a hill in between me and everybody down that way, so it all depends on conditions too. I mean, one time I was talking to I managed to hit a repeater down in right in Detroit, like 94 in the Lodge, on top of some tall building over there. And I was talking to people down that way one time, but that's the exception. It's not the rule.
Right, yeah, Dan knows what I mean. Dan had a pretty good 2 meter setup a while back, and he was able to get into the Detroit repeaters a little bit, but Dan knows what I mean. You got to have a good setup.
Yeah, I still have the setup. I've got the radio and the amplifier here in the shack. It's a 160 watt amplifier, RF concept, and I've got a real nice 2 meter rig.
The antenna's a GP9. That's the vertical that's on the chimney, and I still have that currently hooked in line with the rig and the amplifier. And then I had stacked 10 elements. Oh, what were they? Chris-Craft 10B2 or something like that. But I had stacked 10 elements up on top of my tower at about 63 feet to the boom. So 20 elements and 160 watts. I could kind of talk anywhere within a 100-mile radius. And to be honest with you, Bob, it just I find that for the little bit of time that I have to play radio, I want to have the best opportunity to have a quality QSO like we're doing right here, right now. So I'm more 40 and 75 meters, my best chance of getting that opportunity. You know what I mean? Let's see, K8ICB with N8SOB, N8ZBA.
Yeah, N8ZBA, N8SOB, K8ICB, yeah. Well, good. I'm glad we all hooked up here, and maybe I'll, eventually get acclimated to the locals. And I'll tell you what, just with the 11-meter and driving to work there in East China, I worked the night shift, and I don't know how much you know that. Probably not anything, but I work at the hospital over there in East China, night shift, and I'm always driving through at a certain time, and in the morning I talk to Triple Nickel a little bit, and Popcorn. Popcorn likes to use me as a test because I'm mobile, and they don't seem to talk to a whole lot of mobiles, so I'm kind of unique, I guess. Fresh meat too. So anyway, they make a change to their station. They want to try it out, and they talk to me. So anyway, back to you, Sean.
Yeah, I try to get it. I just enjoy sitting back listening to that guy talk. He's just as fresh as you are, my friend. So, yeah. But, I mean, I wouldn't mind getting back in the 2-meter eventually. I have another tower for it. But, I would want to get myself in a good spot. I want to be able to get into the repeaters and talk to people still, and maybe some good simplex frequencies and what have you. But, yeah, it's something down the line. I have been thinking about it, and we'll eventually get there, I'm thinking. Especially, like when you said with conditions, I wouldn't mind working a little bit of 2-meter, long or, short bounce or whatever you want to call it, a little bit of when it opens up there, so some sideband even. But it was fun while it lasted. And see, now Dan, he's if he really wanted to get a decent signal, all he has to do is turn on his HT and dial into the 300 machine, and he could just about see it from his front yard where the 300 repeater is there in the Voca. So if he really wanted to get in there, all he needed was an HT, and you could talk to Dan on 2 meters. So, yeah, you don't get much time to play radio. And normally, this is where you can normally catch me is on 75. I like to sit on 75 for sure. So, back over to you, Dan, N8SOB.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. 75 is a lot of fun. And yeah, I can see you're 100% correct. Standing on my front porch, I can look to the southwest, and I can see the Greenwood Edison plant, and that is the location of the 300 machines repeater system. So, which I've always have a radio on that repeater, sitting here in the shack on standby. So if you ever need to shout for me, as long as I've got the volume up, which looking at it right now, yep, it's squelched properly and the volume's up, you can get a hold of me on the 300 machine. And that's just with the basic vertical antenna there, mounted on the chimney. It's not really high. But, I'd be interested in a little bit of simplex, trying out some different things with some local guys. It's just the local guys aren't really, in my opinion, that active on 2-meter simplex. Another thing that would be a lot of fun would be some 6-meter activity local. Maybe do a little 6-meter net or it doesn't have to be a net, but a little 6-meter get together, try out propagation and ground wave and maybe a little bit of 10-meter as well. Knowing that you're in the area, Bob, to get a couple guys, maybe get Charlie and some other local hams and maybe do a little bit of 10-meter. That's always an option. And the good thing about that, especially with the point in the solar cycle that we're in, we could have a nice rag chew with ground wave between us, and then have other stations from all over the world be able to join as propagation allows. I'll probably stick in for one more, and then I'm going to go get some food. We've been in here since 6 a.m. Woke up this morning. Actually, the wife woke me up. She said it's 6 a.m. I know you're excited and you wanted to go play some radio. We ended up going to bed at about 1 a.m. So we would have slept right through the morning if it wasn't for the wife. And yeah, I'm not familiar about your work conditions at all there, Bob, but it's a fine business on being over there in East China and the night shift at the hospital. We work down in the city, but we're the day shift. We're 7 to 4. We used to have a radio in the mobile, but now we just listen to a lot of music. Eventually, I'm sure we'll have something back in the truck. Back over to you, Bob.
Well, Dan, 11 meters down towards the city is pretty crazy. It's crazy everywhere. I think it's crazier, even more crazy down that way. So I don't know. I can see why you wouldn't be real thrilled to be listening to that. But yeah, I guess it depends on time of day too, for sure. But yeah, nice making your acquaintance, Dan. I'm Google Maps stalking you, and I'm looking right at your house here. If I got it right, 8350 Yale Road. I see a beam there next to your house. And you got some real estate to play with, so that's great. I'm trying to make the most of what I have. It's just a city lot. I live in a subdivision, so anyway, you should see the place. So you walk by and people look at it, they're like, what the hell, what's going on here? I can see the question mark on their face. It's crazy.